Right, hello everyone. How's it going? Right, we got another oh, another round of Tier 3 action, Season 21 Round 3 at the Red Bull Ring today. Um Looks like it's quite sunny. Obviously, it's one of the tracks that where it can rain. Let me just get the qualifying results up for Tier 3 and we'll go through the grid here. See how everyone shook out. So, let's go to the back of the grid. Nice little cinematic view of all these cars as we go up. See, little spoilers for you to see how everyone did, if you could recognize the cars anyway. So we got almost full grid for this one, apart from one of the full timers I think couldn't make it. I think that was Deco. So lining up in 16th place, we have Gunmad in the Jag. He's not having the best of times. We have four drivers who failed to get into the 29s, but they all set 30.1. So that is Gunmad in P16. Then we got Spin in the AMG, 8 milliseconds quicker than Gunmad. Then we have Whack, really disappointing in the Citroen, with a 30.1, as well as the other AMG, Mo Gaffer. So really bad qualifying there for the AMG lads. For this one, all failing to get into the 29s, which a little bit surprised at, actually. I think we might actually see them all in the 29s at some point over the course of this round, because they were very close. Then a couple of tenths quicker, we have Cherry in the newest Ferrari, the 296. So he is in 12th place, and then lining up alongside him is the Porsche of Arukis, making his Tier 3 debut this season. He did race in the reserve race last week and took a victory against a grid that was half full of Tier 2 drivers in Nordschleife in the feature race. So definitely capable of big things. He's obviously raced in Tier 1 before as well. I think he's been a runner-up in Tier 2, which got him a promotion into Tier 1 quite a few seasons ago now. So let's see what he can do. But yeah, him and Cherry in the two slowest cars off the line. So it'll be interesting to see if they can recover throughout the race. Then lining up in the top 10, we've got Tap, a bit better qualifying for him this time round in the Z4, lining up in 10th alongside another helper, Pyro, in the other Citroen. So yeah, Citroen's not doing as well as I expected. Neither of them getting in the top half here. Remember, they were leading the championship after the first round, and now dropped down to third in the constructors after the second round. So it's really going to be a recovery drive, trying to get well positioned for the feature and try and get something out of that, probably for everyone from Pyro backwards. Then in 8th place, we got Kling Beast in the M6, a 29.8 here. Only 2/10 off of pole position. So the entire the top 12 was separated by 0.372, actually. So really close qualifying here. So Kling Beast 8th, right alongside his teammate Kira in 7th place. So the two M6s having a fairly decent qualifying. Let's see what they could do in the races, because it is a little bit jittery off the low speed corners. It can spin, so they'll have to be careful. Upshift probably to second or third gear out of corners where you'd normally be in a lower gear, to make sure you account for that. Then we got Scotty, who had a really good recovery drive in the feature race last week. He's lining up in 6th place in the 296. And then the top 5 are going to be Static, also known as Sergeant. He is in 5th place, another really good qualifying. Second week in a row, he's had quite a high qualifying result in his GTR. Then we've got Captain Eli, our championship leader, lining up in 4th place in that Z4. So the people who've managed to beat him are the sprint race winner from last week, Hulked, in his GTR. So he's having a pretty good season in qualifying sessions so far. And then in the front row, it's going to be Higgsy in the Audi with a 29.6. Both of the front row are in the 29.6s. And getting that bonus point is going to be Jack getting his first pole position of the season. I can't remember the last time Jack even had a pole position, to be honest. So this is really good qualifying Hello, Zico. Yes, I'm a tier one driver, or at least I was for this week. I would have got pole actually in this qualifying session by a tenth of a second actually with my qualifying time for tier one, but it was only good enough for 14th in tier one. So that shows you a little bit of the difference between tier one and tier three, which I could have well have driven in this season, to be honest, given how bad my season was last season. Anyway, we got 11 laps here, so let's get going on this sprint race. Who's going to be quick off the line? I'm expecting Jack to have a really good launch. The lights are off and away we go. And it is as expected. That Jag is lovely off the line. It looks like Captain Eli is trying to get all the way up from 4th to 2nd into the first corner. Jack looks like he's going to have it covered pretty well, and Eli is fully ahead. Higgsy and Hulk. Oh, Higgsy's gone very wide. Let's see if that ends up being a penalty, because he doesn't look like he lifted, because he's still side by side with Captain Eli. He is ahead of Hulk, but he does get that half-second penalty. Kira with a really good start up into 4th place. Then you got Hulk, Sargent, and Scotty not too far behind, as everyone's very close together. A little bit of contact. It looks like Scotty's having to mount the curb there, gets a little bit of a bump. You can see Tap getting a half-second penalty. Sargent's down to 8th. Pyro's still in 9th, and Tap's still in 10th with his half-second. Looks like Arukis had an absolutely terrible start. So let's see what happened to Arukis from 11th place. So we know the Porsche has a bad start. Absolutely swallowed up by everybody here. And he's all the way down in 16th, going into the corner. We're 4 wide into turn 1 at the back here, and everyone actually manages to get through somehow. So let's follow with spin and see how. Actually, let's go a little bit further up and see what happens here, because we did see a little bit of bumping with these about 10 cars here, all really close together in the braking zone to turn 3. So Whack bumps Klinger, who hits Scotty, who ends up mounting the curb there, and there's a little bit of a concertina going on, and everyone still makes it through. Little bit messy, but nothing to worry about as we head down to turn 3. We got Pyro and Tap side by side trying to race each other down. We got Scotty going defensive against Sargent a little bit ahead as well. Everyone making it through pretty nicely there. But yeah, at the front it is Jack from Eli, from Higgsy with a half-second penalty. Hult trying to chase him down with a half-second penalty. So Kira could end up in 3rd place if she gets it right with these penalties. If they don't defend correctly into the next corner, she definitely should get 4th place off of her teammate at the very least. So there's the penalties being served, and actually she doesn't even get a single position there, so she must have gotten the tight and twisty S's section a little bit worse than the cars in front, because she couldn't stay too close. Giving her teammate a little bump around the final corner. Scotty putting a bit of pressure on Klinger as well, so we're going to see a little move into turn 1. Never a really good idea to go into turn 1, I don't think. There's always a risk of spinning if you're side by side. It also kills your acceleration on the big log run down to turn 3. But he has gone and got that position from Kling, who might be under a little bit of pressure from Sargent now, who wants to take it 3 wide. And Klinger might have the best of the opportunities here, very late on the brakes compared to Scotty, and Sargent does get round the corner first as well, so Sargent shuffled back to 8th and Scotty still in 7th, so it is as you were. Pyro with a half-second penalty might drop him behind Whack, and something's happened to Tap. That was that half-second penalty that he had to serve, so he's dropped it to 12th because of his penalty, and everyone else pretty much as you were. Well, Cherry's dropped to the back, and Spin has managed to get past Arukis. Jack holding a fairly decent lead over Eli at the moment. Eli's got another half-second penalty, so this is pretty much cruise control for Jack at this stage of the sprint race. Definitely his to lose, especially with Eli getting this penalty. It'll put him back in with Higgsy, who will be able to get some nice slipstream at the start of lap 3 in his Audi. Anyone else getting any penalties? Pyro with a penalty is probably going to drop him behind his teammate as well. But they could maybe work together with a bit of bump drafting to try and get back up to the pack, but Whack goes a little bit wide there. So the first lap is the first fastest laps are coming in. A 29.9 is Higgsy's time. So it looks like he's showing some good pace so far at the start of this sprint. Remember, that's only 3/10 off of what pole position time was. And someone's gone around, it's Klinger. It was going so well. He was holding off Scotty really nicely here. And I think he might just lose it into turn 1. And then you got the two BMWs having a little look at each other. Oh, you know what? Because Kira nearly span and Kling just span in solidarity there. That always happens. And then you've got these two quite far back just going through turn 1 now, so these guys definitely been in the wars at some point. So yeah, that's Kling. Oh, Jack's nearly lost it there. Eli nearly lost it as well, a little bit twitchy out of that corner. So Higgsy, everyone is very, very close together still. Scotty is thinking about a move on Kieran now that he's got past Klinger. And he is going to go on the inside here. This is a really good opportunity for Scotty to get into the top 5 now. And that was a pretty straightforward overtake there for Scotty. Next one up on his list is the sprint race winner from last week, Hulked. Trying to get another podium in the sprint races. And he is going purple at the moment, so on course to beat Higgsy's time from that previous lap. We'll have to see what these lap times look like, because the gap isn't that big between Jack and Eli. Maybe 1.5 seconds. They want to be getting in the 29s pretty much for the entire race here, if you want to be winning this. But that's a 30.4, a 30 flat, and a 29.8 for Higgsy, a new fastest lap. But Scotty's just beat that, despite making an overtake with a 29.6. So Scotty, yeah, probably quicker than his actual qualifying time with that one. And now he's going to try and use that to chase down Hulk. Hulk's in the 29s as well. Let's see if anyone else. 31s for Kira, but she did get overtaken. Anyone else managing to get a 29? 43 for Klinger after that one. No one else in the 29s, just the very, very top guys. So who is close to a move? It looks like Sargent wants to get past Kira now as well, so she's dropping back a little bit in this sprint race. And Sargent's going to try and do the exact same thing that Scotty did. Kira a little bit further ahead going into the corner. And should have that one covered off, at least for now. Wack and Pyro not too far back either. Sargent having a little look. Kira left the space. And that is going to just cost them both time to the Citroens behind. It's like Hulks has a half-second penalty, which will bring Scotty even closer. So these guys are really close together now. Let's see what Sarge can do. Well, if I'm him, I'm just lining up and moving to turn 3 here. Get a good exit out of turn 1, take a nice bit of curb and get on the throttle early. They both completely missed the apex, so that's not happening. And yeah, I did practice in the GTR because that's my car in tier 2 before I went up and did the tier 1 race to fill in. And yeah, you can take that curb beautifully in the Nissan. So Sarge's missing a little bit of a trick there. And Kira's very wide. This should be super straightforward now for Sarge. They're going to drag race down into the next corner. Oh, Wack's really close behind as well. You can hear the Citroen, but Sarge, is he going to have it finally covered off here? He is. And is Wack going to be able to follow him through? I'd be very surprised if Wack could pull this one off. Around the outside, he's going to try it, and yeah, it's just an awkward corner to make a move around the outside. So just going to have to settle in for now. Kira just needs to regain her composure and try and pull away with Sargent in the slipstream a little bit. And Pyro's going to serve a half second, so that's going to help these guys as well. So let's see what the lap time's looking like. So the last lap, Jack was finally in the 29s for the first time. But still leading comfortably at 30.1. Higgsy is up in second with a 30.4, so something's happened to Captain Eli, and he's battling with Higgsy here. So let's see, Eli got himself a half-second penalty, with Higgsy pretty close behind. Okay. So it is possible to keep P2 here with the half-second. Is he going to go? He is doing the grass trick, which has caused a little bit of controversy this week. And he is going to try and hold it. And Higgsy just gets through anyway. That was a really good overtake there from Higgsy. And he gets the move completed in the final corner. Now, Eli's going to try and come back at him into turn 1 actually. So it isn't actually completed yet. And he does get the... Oh, nearly loses it. So Higgsy's going to have to do all that hard work again. Something's happening with Sarge. Oh, dear. Is that contact? I couldn't tell. Let's see. Into turn 1. This is the angle for contact. No, he loses it on his own. Oh, Sergeant, it was going so well. Pyro having to do some huge dodging there to get out of the way. His stars are still spinning. I think we need to watch that from his zone on board. He's down in 13th now. He's done a clinger. Look at this. Nearly saved it. Nearly saved it. Now he's completely off track. Now he's going to go back on track. He's offline. It's fine. That was fine. It was a little bit hairy. So yeah, everyone gets promoted a spot. So Kira got overtaken by Sarge, gets that position back, but he's going to have to try and not spin it out of turn 3. Wack is going to have a really good run on the exit here, and he's going to try and go around the outside of Kira. But Kira does have the advantage going into this corner. Oh, Wack just breaks super late and actually cuts Kira off in the corner and gets a great exit as well. So that Citroen looking pretty strong in the sprint race, especially compared to what they were doing in qualifying. Wack still hasn't managed to get into the 29s yet, but he did set 30.1s in qualifying, and he's done that twice. He is purple actually right now with the overtake as well. So he just needs to nail those last 2 corners. He might actually get the fastest lap here. Little check-in on the front. Jack is just in absolute cruise control, hasn't been under any pressure at all. Eli and Higgsy have had some battling, which has definitely helped that. So Jack is in the 29s. He just sets the fastest lap at 29.4, quicker than pole time. Eli at 30.1, Higgsy at 30.5. Getting caught by Hult with a 29.8 and Scotty with a 29.9. So these, yeah, all of the top 5 could end up on the podium here. 29.9 for Wack. And it looks like he was a little bit dodgy into turn 1. Pyro with another half second. Gunmad suddenly in 9th place. So there's been a lot of drama. We haven't seen what's been going on further back, but Gunmad is 9th, Tap is in 10th. Gunmad just lapping solidly in the 30s the whole race. Tap having looks like some dodgy lap 2 and 3. And then is kind of stabilized in the last 3 laps. Mo's had a dodgy lap 5 and a dodgy lap 2. And Spin is just, yeah, so the AMG's not having a good one. They're not going to score in this sprint race. Then you got Cherry, you got Sargent and Kling. And Arukis, I was expecting a lot better for Arukis after getting pummeled by him in Nordschleife last week. But he's not able to carry that form into Red Bull Ring by the looks of it. So what is Eli able to do on this one? He is getting caught by the 3 cars behind him. Our championship leader, used to making progress, but he's under a little bit of pressure this time for one of the first times this season. 29.9, Higgsy 2/10 quicker, Hult was 3/10 quicker, Scotty was actually a 10th slower than him. But Scotty's going to get some good slipstream on this lap. He just needs to avoid any little mistakes, because we still have 4 laps to go on this one. A lot could still happen. Kira thinks a dummy move worked perfectly to distract. Well, potentially. It is easy to get a position like that just by them looking a bit more in the mirrors and not thinking about the corner. So the thing is, the Z4 is really good out of on the accelerations out of these kind of low speed corners. And the Audi is better once you get into like 5th gear. So that's where Higgsy is struggling a little bit, because obviously there's no need to be in 6th gear around Red Bull Ring. It is quite a short track, even though it's got some long straights. They're not quite long compared to some of the other tracks that we go to. But Higgsy's actually got a run now. Oh, he's just having a look. He needs to start doing that a bit more often, because it's going to potentially distract Eli, kind of like what happened with Sarge there with Kira. And he definitely has a run now. Hulk's still fairly close behind as well. And yeah, Eli not afraid to take the curb, and I've raced at Red Bull Ring in the Audi, and you cannot take that curb in turn 1, which is a big problem because it just allows this massive gap to happen, and now all of a sudden Higgsy's under a little bit of pressure from Hulk as well. So if Hulk can get a good exit from this corner, a little bit of lag there, then he could have a go at Higgsy, but Higgsy looks like he's got a really good exit from turn 3 at least. And then what's probably going to happen is Higgsy will spend the rest of the lap catching up to Eli, because the MR cars do suit the second half of the lap, and the FR cars seem to suit the first corner massively, ridiculously massively. Yeah, we might get a BOP update as well when we get this new Group 3 Porsche that comes out, which will potentially really shake things up as well. I have a feeling the 296 might get a small buff and the 458 might get a nerf, because that's what happened when we had a new GTR. The 13 stayed quicker than the 18 for a little while, and then they just did a BOP update which nerfed the 13 GTR right into the ground, to the point where no one picks it anymore for Monday League. And the 18 GTR is one of the best. When the new Honda, well, the old new Honda, the GT500 one was released, it ended up being an incredibly good car for about a season and a half, and then it got nerfed into the ground. Oh, Higgsy's got a half second, so this is his podium well and truly under threat here, with just 2 laps to go as well. He needs to have an absolutely fantastic rest of the lap until he gets to the penalty zone if he wants to stay ahead of Hulks. This kind of gap is not enough to stay ahead of Hulks at the moment, even if he goes defensive into the corner, even if he tries the old grass trick, I reckon. Not much change in the top 10 over these last few laps, actually. Everyone's pretty much exactly as they were, so let's stick with Hulks, let's ride on board. The Nissan is a bit of a brick around these medium speed corners, where you need to be like in 3rd gear but carrying a lot of speed through them. So Higgsy not going defensive here. This is actually just going to gift Hulks the position, but I think he would have got it no matter what, given how close he was. So Higgsy's going to have to try and get him on this final lap that we're entering into now. Takes loads of curb in that final corner, but Hulk's much earlier on the throttle, and we're going to see Higgsy maybe potentially lose even more time in turn 1 here, because he's not going to be able to take the curbs. It's Hulk's. Oh, he's much later on the brakes though, but Hulk's going to be earlier on the throttle. Well, he would have been. He is still pulling away a little bit despite losing traction. And Scotty's a bit too far back at the moment to have a go as well. So we've got Jack coming through, Eli, then we got this queue of 3 cars pretty close together now. Let's see if Hulk actually can do, Higgsy can do a last minute dive into turn 4. Hulk's covering it off really well here. Higgsy's going to try the switch back, but he's going to find himself on the outside once again. And Scotty's not too far back here, and these two are going side by side in a corner where you lose a lot of time going side by side. And Higgsy's trying to switch back again. Hulk's going to probably have this covered off. And it looks like that might have been Higgsy's last opportunity. So let's join Jack. He led from the front. He's not had any issues. He's actually got the fastest lap of the race. He's going to have pole, win, and fastest lap unless anyone could beat him on this one. Rounds the final corner to take his, I'm pretty sure it's his first victory of the season in the Jag. Really well done to him. Captain Eli continues to build on his championship lead with a P2. Hulk 3rd, Higgsy and Scotty in the top 5. Wack is in 6th, Kira in 7th in the end, Pyro in 8th, Gunmad in 9th, so gets a couple of points. Tap gets reverse grip pole ahead of Mo Gaffer, who has had terrible run in the sprint races. Then you got Spin, Sergeant Cherry, Klinger, And Arukis is a long way back, so let's just do that so that we don't have to watch it. So hopefully he has a little bit of a better second race, our Arukis, because we know what he's capable of, and it's much, much better than that. So the feature, I think Gunmad shared this one. There we go. Jensen made the GTR 30. Yeah, but he could drive anything, A. And B, from what I remember, the 13 GTR, one of the biggest issues with it is the downforce that they put on it. So I think that's why it's not really viable on Monday League. Ironically, I think it's one of the best cars around Red Bull Ring, but anywhere else it's horrendous. So let's see if we're going to have any weather in this feature race. It's dry at the moment, so we're going to have to see. Is anyone going to be on the softs? Pyro's on the softs. Right, okay. Anyone else? Everyone else is going to do mediums. This is going to be an easy medium soft strat, apart from Arukis, who's on the hards, so that's a massive handicap for him already at the start of the race. So let's start this feature. 27 laps. It should be a pretty straightforward medium soft for everybody. 2 stops not going to work. We'll ride on board with Pyro because he's the only one on the softs. He needs to get to the front basically in the opening 2 laps. And he's going to have 8 or 9 laps to build a big lead on everyone else. And then he's going to have to be on the mediums. And he's going to be able to do a little bit of an undercut on fresh mediums compared to everyone else for another 9 laps. And then it's going to be really tough, and it's going to be about maintaining the gap. It looks like Wack and Kira are going a little bit side by side here. Kira just ahead of Wack going into turn 3. Looks like she's going to cover that one off pretty well. A little bit ahead. Pyro has got ahead of Gunmad, and now he's going to be chasing down Tap into turn 3, into turn 4. So can he do this? Someone's had an incident. I have a feeling it might be. Let's see then. Let's see. Okay. So we got Jack, we've got Mo Gaffer, and we've got Spin very close behind. Jack going way too deep there, so that's a bit of a disaster. And Mo just nudging him round. That is a bit of a dodgy one from Mo, I reckon. Let's see. Yeah, that would be a penalty. I don't know if it was reported, but let's see what happened to Jack as well, because it wasn't just Eli who had a bit of an issue there. Oh, well, he does really well to avoid Hulk, and to be honest, he gets out of the drama with Eli as well, because he'd have been right in the middle of that. And he loses. He's down to 11th, so he started the race in 10th, dropped down to 11th. That's where we're at. Scotty now trying to put some pressure on Kira. Wax managed to get ahead. And Pyro trying his hardest to get past Tap at this stage. Is he going to be able to? I think Pyro's giving Tap a little push around the corner. And now is under a little bit of pressure from Goodman again. Pyro flashing. I don't think that's going to work. Tap's in VR anyway, so he's not even going to see the flashing. So every lap that Tap can keep Pyro behind is going to contribute to ruining Pyro's strategy here. But Pyro looks like he's got a good run out of that final corner. A little bit hairy from the cars behind, but everyone's still in the same position that they were in previously. Apart from Higgsy might have got past Scotty. They're going side by side. It's like Scotty and Higgsy. Let's see what was happening between these guys. Scotty losing traction. Higgsy's going to try and go around the outside. He should have cut inside. He had the time to do it. So now Scotty is going to have... Oh, he gets a bump draft from Hulk as well, which doesn't help for Higgsy. Scotty's really late. Nearly could have made some contact with Kira, but backed out of it. Wax got himself a half second. Pyro's not close to Tap on this lap. But he's still going to have to be patient on this stage, Pyro. Times 5 tyre wear is going to be a bit brutal as well. Hulk's very close behind Scotty, not able to get a move done. You have Mo, Jackson 10th, so he's got 1 position. Spin's dropped down to 13th. Klinger's trying to recover from his bad sprint race. He's in 12th. Arukis has a decent start. He's up 2 places into 14th. And Captain Eli, he's actually not that far back. He can catch up to this pack fairly quickly, I reckon. Pyro putting loads of pressure on Tap now. Actually pushes him out of the corner once again. And still stuck behind at the end of lap 2. So he's got another 6 or 7 laps on these softs. And he's not really... I mean, they are making a bit of a gap to Gunmad, but it needs to be much bigger than this. Fastest lap was Tap with a 30.9. Let's see. Yeah, that is the fastest that anyone's done so far. And yeah, nothing Pyro could do. That Z4 is better on the acceleration than the well, in that run between turn 1 and 3 than the Citroen. And look, you can see the Z4 just pulling away a little bit. Pyro's not able to get alongside at all into the braking zone. It's like Kira and Higgsy going side by side as well. And Higgsy gets another position, so Higgsy past Kira, past Scotty. Having a good start to this feature race, up into 5th. And then you got Gunmad down behind Wack now, so Wack's had a decent start on his mediums, not actually that far behind his teammate Pyro on the softs. Pyro's still stuck behind Tap on the infield section. And he's going to try it now. He has a run. He's gonna... Oh, Tap covers it off beautifully there. Pyro should really have had that position at that point. So the end of lap 3. They both lost a second on what they were doing in lap 2 because of that fighting. And Pyro's really late on the brakes. Tap's surely going to cut back there. Pyro manages to make the corner, and that's how he's going to get the lead finally. So if I'm Tap, I'm just going to try and stick in the slipstream of Pyro. What you can do when you're on the harder tyre is use the slipstream of the softer runner and try your best to stay as close in the infield section as you can, and use the soft tyres car to just pull away from everybody else. So that's what I'm doing if I'm Tap, and especially with Wack not that too far behind. Wack will be getting a little bit of slipstream there. Then you still got Gunmad. Higgsy's closing in on Gunmad pretty nicely at this point. He just jacks up into 8th as well, so he's making a bit of progress. And you can see all the way at the back on the minimap, everyone's pretty much in a big snake now. So Eli has caught up to the back of the pack, our championship leader. So this is a damage limitation race. Is that going to be a penalty for Higgsy? He was a little bit wide there. And really wide there, bloody hell. And again, there's the half second. Really out of shape. That's going to bring Scotty right back into it. He's going to serve that half a second penalty on the next lap. So it was looking really strong there for Higgsy, but a really messy couple of corners. What are these lap times going to look like? Pyro's finally passed it. Is this going to be a fastest lap? He needs to be at least in the 29s. A 30.3, so it is the fastest. A 31 for Tap. A 30.8 for Wack, so that's half a second slower than Pyro. Anyone else in the 30s at this point? Looks like everyone's in the 31s. Yeah, no one else in the 30s apart from the very top. Well, Pyro and Wack, I think, are the only ones in the 30s. So the Citroen's on a bit of a charge here. Scotty looking to get past Higgsy right now. Just trying to get a good camera angle. And he wasn't able to do it into the braking zone. Not brave enough on the brakes there. Nearly loses it on the exit. Allows Higgsy to pull away a little bit. And that might keep Higgsy ahead at the penalty zone. You got these guys really close together. Jack's actually fallen back again. You got the two Dutch drivers battling for position. Hulk's on the inside, Kira on the outside. Oh, nearly pushed Kira into the gravel. These two are teammates in eSports, and the teammates. Are they teammates in Monday League? I don't think so. No, one's in the Nissan, one's in the BMW. But Jack gets past Kira as well. Bit of a recovery that Jack's on after dropping to, I think it was 11th on the opening lap. That might be a penalty for Kira as well. Unless there was a lift. Let's see. No, half a second. And what about Scotty and Higgsy side by side after Higgsy served his penalty? And Higgsy still covers it off nicely. So Goodman's doing pretty solidly here in 4th place still. Oh, Wack's got a half-second penalty. He has caught up really nicely to Tap. Tap. He does have Tap's slipstream, but Pyro with a 30.6 on that lap, so actually 3/10 slower. I think Pyro needs to try and stay in the low 30s at least for the rest of this stint to give himself the best chance. Someone's dropped. Oh, Rukas has done a 43, so he's had a spin on his hard tyres. Eli is lapping in the low 31s on his mediums. Him and Sargent. Sargent's one of the quicker guys in qualifying. He was in the top 5, so he could still make progress through this grid. A little bit further up, you got Cherry and Mo having a go at each other. Mo's been really good in the feature races, not good in the sprints, and I think he's always started outside the top 10 in the features as well, but always come through. And he's in the top 10 again in this feature race. Kieran Holt with teammates last season as well. Scotty's the feature merchant. Well, you know what? Oh! Was someone just in the wall there? It was Kira! I nearly missed it. So what's happening here? So Kira lost out to Jack and to Hulked in that battle on the previous lap. Losing a bit of time on this lap as well, and got herself a 1-second penalty. Not a common place to spin. If it's happening here. Oh. Well. Ooh. Nearly span. Had contact with Eli there. So down to 50. So there's another position for Eli. At the top, Tap has pulled away from Wack after Wack served his penalty as well. Everyone is pretty close together on these medium tyres. Down to, I would say, Jack. There's a little bit of a gap to Mo, Klinger, Sargent. Yeah, Eli's still in the mix here. If he can get his strategy right, he might want to try and either undercut or overcut everybody else. I don't think the fuel is too good on the Z4. Well, it seems to be better than the AMG, but we know the AMG is not too good. To be fair, looking at the fuel, everyone's pretty close together on fuel. Let's stick with this little battle. I think Higgsy's going to try and get a move done on Gunmad fairly soon. The Jag is just a horrible car at turning, in my opinion. I did try, so we did eSports pre-qualifying around Red Bull Ring, and I was in the Jag last season, so the first car that I drove around here was the Jag. And as soon as I went in literally any other car, I was about a second a lap quicker. And he just loses that one. Oh, nearly spins. Scotty gets his way through as well, and now Hulk is going to get through as well, so absolutely caught with his pants down there is Gunmad. Let's see that once more. So he goes really defensive into this corner, which probably wasn't the best idea, because now he's out of shape. Higgsy's fully alongside. And yeah, Gunman just makes a little bit of contact with Higgsy through the corner. Scotty makes his way through. He's just completely killed all of his speed, and he has to short shift. So now Jack, his own teammate, is trying to catch up. Holtz is fancying a go on Scotty into turn 1. Oh, Scotty's a little bit out of shape as well. Hulk might be able to get past here. Oh no, he decides to rejoin and do a bump instead. Okay, I'd have just gone for the position. Now Jack is going to get past his teammate. Gunmad really... Oh, come on, Jack. What the hell is that? What the hell? So this is the second kamikaze move in the same corner for Jack. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? If you've got Patreon access, go and look at my report on Capel in Tier 1, because Capel basically did the exact same thing to me. He was 3 cars back and he pushed me out of the way at this corner. Look at this. Come on, Jack. Scotty's in the championship hunt and he's... Well, yeah, Jack wins, but I'd be fuming. Especially if I was Scotty. So Gunmad's back up into 5th. So it helped out. Jack helped out his teammate at least. He might have killed his chances in the drivers' championship with that, because he's all the way down in 14th now. Is Jack, after winning the sprint and putting himself into such a good position. He's only ahead of the guys who've been doing laps in the 40s with big mistakes. So let's see what's happening at the front anyway. Pyro he is building a fairly decent lead. He was 8/10 quicker than Tap on that last lap. Tap is, does Pyro have a half-second penalty now though? So that's going to cost him a bit of time. He is going for another lap here. His rears are about to go off. Maybe he could do 10, but I think his car's starting to lose a lot of time here. He's going to set a 31.7. Tap is a 31.4, under a lot of pressure from Wack here. He's going defensive. And yeah, he takes turn 1 pretty decently here. I think he's coping with the pressure pretty decently. The top 3 all GT7 helpers here, which is quite funny. Oh, Wack having to almost dodge Tap there, but he gets a great exit. This might be Wack's chance, and we might see a Citroen 1-2. And it wouldn't be the first time that Pyro and Wack have been teammates in Red Bull Ring, and they've been 1-2. And I've commentated on it. They did it last time we were here, actually, in the McLarens it was that time. But Tap's covering it off and preventing that from happening pretty decently here. Oops. A little bit further down, Hulks has got himself a half-second penalty. He might lose this spot to Mo. Like I said, Mo always seems to do much better in these feature races. Oh, and he's just got himself a half-second, so he might get past Hulks, potentially. No, he's not even going to. This is going to put Klinger, who's also on a bit of a charge in this feature race, a little bit better on. It looks like Pyro's actually gone for another lap here, even though that was a 32.8. That's a really not a good lap. That might be the slowest out of everybody, you know. 31.8 for Tap. So Tap's been fighting with Wack, and he's still cut a whole second into Pyro's lead here. And I think it's going to be cut down even more on this lap. He might actually catch up to Pyro. So this is a lap too long, I think. And the other thing Pyro has to think about is he actually going to come out in traffic? I don't think so. I think everyone's going to be ahead of Pyro when he pits. Yeah, difficult to know who's going to win this one. Pyro's still going to have fresh mediums for another 8 laps compared to everybody else. But then he's going to get caught so quickly. And he needed a much bigger gap at this point if he was going to win this. It's almost been a year since Pyro last won a race in ALR on Mondays. It was in February last year. So this is probably his best chance that he's had in quite a while. And he's going to come into the pits now, surely. Because his rear left, I don't think, is going to get another lap done. In he comes. Tap's going around. And Tap is going to retake the lead of this one. Going to be under a lot of pressure from Wack, though. It might only last one corner. So Tap going defensive. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Bit naughty. And is that going to be a penalty for Tap? I think he's just going to about get away with that one. Oh no, he doesn't get away with it. Okay. So this is a great opportunity for Wack, but he might go for the position anyway. No, he's just going to chill behind. And Higgsy is not far behind either. Oh, losing a bit of traction there. See, that's why you kind of have to go for it when you've got the opportunity around Red Bull Ring, because that is a huge gap, and the half a second penalty is not going to allow Wack to get past if Tap can keep this this gap. Let's see where Pyro's come out. So he has come out in some lovely clear air here. Needs to be lapping in the mid 31s, I reckon. I mean, that's what Tap's doing, so maybe even quicker than that. Maybe in the 30s. Although the fastest lap at the moment is Pyro with a 30.3. I think when these guys come in and put in on their fresh softs, they're going to be in the 29s. So there's a half second. Tap is going to get away with it because he built a huge lead on this lap. And they both go super wide. This is going to open the door for Higgsy potentially. And Higgsy just doesn't get the throttle down on the exit of that one. So I think at this point, it's a 4-horse race for the win. These three and Pyro, depending on what he can do, now he's got some clear air. Pyro should be ahead of these guys after the pit stops, which are probably going to be completed on lap 18, maybe 19 at the latest for some people. Gunmad has been caught now from Hulk, who's ahead of Klinger, and Scotty's down in 7th. So Scotty recovering fairly decently, actually. He lost about 5 seconds with that issue with Jack. Jack is... oh, Cherry's just getting overtaken by Mo Gaffer, so Mo's had a bit of an issue. A couple of laps ago, it looks like, down in the 33s there. Jack is in 10th. Eli is recovering, and he's in 11th. He's close to Jack, at least, and not actually that far away from Scotty. And if you're thinking about it, those are the guys who are pretty close to him in the championship at the moment. Cherry's just got past Mo with a nice little move a bit further up as well. Jack's going to try and get past Mo as well. So Mo falling a little bit backwards after a really solid, consistent start to the race. And you might remember it was Mo who spun Eli around, and Eli's already caught up to Mo again after that. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts, definitely. Let's go back to the front. Everyone's still pretty close together. I want to see what these lap times are looking like. So a 31.3, fairly good for Tap. 31.4, 31.6. The top three all lapping pretty good. 31.9 for Gunmad, so they're all over a half a second quicker. Hulk's going for it into turn 1 here. It looks like he's got that move nicely done. Gunmad might be able to get the position back though into turn 3. He's gone for it. Hulk left the door open, but they leave each other some good space, and Hulk should drive away with the traction on the exit. Oh, someone's round, and it is Cherry. Let's see what happened there. So getting out of turn 1, he's all out of shape. Here's Jack. Oh dear. Is Jack at it again? I don't know. Oh dear. Exactly the same as what happened to Eli. So that would be another penalty for Jack if that was reported, to be honest. Oh man. He's having an absolute stinker. He is waiting, so good on him for waiting, but yeah, it just you have to think about where the positions of the other cars are all the time and lift if you need to lift. But hey, this is why these guys are in tier 3 and not in tier 2, yeah? There are more, they have the pace, but they are making more mistakes than what you normally find in tier 2. Although I say that, if you're in the Patreon, you'll know that tier 2 absolutely went off with the reports after the race on Monday. I was getting multiple notifications all night long that people were getting reported. Kling now trying to get past Gunmad. Let's see what he can do. top three. Looks like that maybe they're even working together just to continue to go away from everyone else, but no real challenges for the lead. Klinger was my pick to win Tier 3 pre-season. I still think he's got a good shout at finishing top 3, but he needs to get past Gunmad, and that was a really slow getaway from turn 3 as well, so it's not going to happen soon. These guys just snaking around together. Higgsy, oh, Wack nearly lost it there. Higgsy with a 31 flat, pretty decent for this stage of his stint. 31.1 and 31.2, so these guys finding a lot of pace here at this point. Tap maybe dragging them all around. Hulk seems to be getting a little bit quicker with every lap that goes by as well. Anyone, what's Pyro's lap times doing all the way at the back? He's in the 30s, 30.6, so that is 0.6 quicker than Tap at the moment. So he is back to building a lead on the front guys. Red Bull Ring produced the most incidents. Yeah, I think it has because how many heavy braking zones are there, basically? And also these banana curbs send you flying, so if you side by side and then touch a banana curb, your car goes a little bit wobbly and then you're losing pace and someone can just plow through you as well. Also, I think it's easy to be like near the top pace-wise around here, because there's not many corners, and they're not. It's not a difficult track, is it? So a 31.1 for Pyro. That's only 0.2 quicker than Tap. That is not good enough at this stage, I don't think. Especially with Tap dragging the other two around. So Pyro's going to come out in front, but he's going to have a battle on his hands, I think, to even potentially finish on the podium. Wack goes really wide there. That, I don't know if you get a penalty for going wide there, because you definitely lose time. There's some battling going on between these two again. Let's see. Looks like Eli did get past Mo. Mo's going to try and get past Eli again further down this straight. Really late braking. Nothing wrong with that. Goes a little bit too deep though, and Eli's just going to get that position back, surely. Yeah. Don't blame him for trying, but you need to make the apex when you do a move like that. And Eli just misses the apex here, so it might open the door again for Mo. So about halfway through, over halfway through now. We've got another 2 laps until people start coming in. I think if anyone came in at the end of the lap 16, it's not going to work out very well for them. Oof. Yeah, they're very close racing. The tyres are wearing down really a lot now. You got the 2 Nissans close together, so Hulk was doing really well. Starting to drop back, because he set that 1:40 on the previous lap. I don't know if we missed an issue with Hulk, actually. Arukas in early. He's going to do the rest of the lap on the medium, the rest of the race on the medium, sorry. Lapping in the 32s and 33s at the end of this one. And Tap looking comfortable ahead of Wack now, and Wack's got a half-second penalty, so he's going to drop behind Higgsy, probably on this one. Interesting. So Wack maybe making a mistake somewhere has allowed Tap to build about maybe 2 seconds, and that's going to be even more because Wack is sliding all over the place as well. Torpedo Jack. Oh. So here's the slowing down for Wack. He might actually still keep this position. Oh, that's a big deceleration. He is going defensive, but Higgsy's fully ahead, and Higgsy takes P2. So Wack's gone from challenging Philippe, taps in at the end of lap 16. Oh no, surely not. Is Eli going to come in as well? Is this a team decision? I don't think Tap needed to do that. I mean, so the last 2 times we raced at Red Bull Ring, one was before the big Bob nerf, for everybody. But regardless, it has been the best strategy in Tier 1. Both times has been 18 on the medium, 9 on the soft. So to come in at the end of lap 16, you're going to be driving, like, the problem is you're going to have a pace disadvantage for the rest of the race. And if you get caught by anyone, you're pretty much toast around here. Because the pace is so similar between everybody. To be fair, I think the bop is pretty good around here as well. Between all the cars. But let's see where Tap comes out. He is out. He's out behind Kira, who hasn't pit yet, and Pyro's got past Kira. Lost about a second in the process of getting past. But the gap between Pyro and Tap at this point, considering Tap's going to have better tyres for the rest of the race, we're talking maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Let's see. So it is about 4 seconds actually. Tap's only 4 seconds behind Pyro. And he's got to get past Kira, but Kira's going to be coming in probably before Tap catches her. Arukas is miles back, so he's not. Wack is coming in at the end of lap 17. Higgsy's doing the 18, so that he is doing the strategy that I would always recommend around here. Gunmad is carrying on. Scotty's going to come in. Klinger's carrying on as well. So these guys may lose track position, may lose a little bit of time, but they're going to have really good tyres for the rest of the race, these guys. Eli's carrying on as well, which I think is a good decision. He's got some clear air. He's obviously done pretty well with the tyre saving. Hult's carrying on as well, but look how dead those tyres are. The unfortunate thing is that is just how it is for the Nissan. I don't think you can get 10 laps out of the Nissan anyway. There's no other option. Jack's trying the same. Pyro's going through, but he's got himself a half second. Kira has actually carried on for another lap, and Tap with another half second penalty. Wack has come out right next to Tap. Tap really needs to get ahead of Wack here. And he does. But now they've got to try and get past this car with completely dead medium tyres here. And this is really good news for Pyro. So yeah, you got Tap and Wack out behind a car that hasn't pit yet. You got Higgsy trying the strategy which I think is the best. Tap trying to get the move done, couldn't get it stopped alongside Kira, and is now going to have to try and go around the outside here. Tap trying all sorts to try and get ahead, and it's not going to work. Oh, he's trying the switchback though. Kira goes a little bit wide there and gets that position, but Wack's going to go right on through as well. Higgsy's going for another lap. 19 on this Audi. Really interesting strat there for Higgsy. He wants to win the race, obviously. Here's a penalty for Tap. Really bad news for him. And now Kira's going to try and go alongside, but Kira's surely going into the pits now anyway. Yep. So that was a bad lap there for Tap. We've got probably what's going to be a Citroen 1-2 at the start of this one. A 31.7 with a penalty there for Pyro as well. We need perfection from Pyro if he wants to win this one. So Hulk's carrying on another lap. This is crazy for the Nissan. Higgsy with that rear left looking dodgy. But you're still lapping at the 31.7. That's the same as what Pyro served. Pyro with fresher tyres, but getting penalties quite often on these medium tyres. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if Higgsy might actually be able to get past Tap here. With obviously Higgsy's been fuel saving a lot. He's going to put in less fuel, and he's going to have 3 laps fresher tyres than Tap for the rest of this race. He's going to be absolutely on fire, as is Hulk when they come out the pits to get lots of overtakes done. Scotty has shuffled out in 6th, ahead of Gunmad, ahead of Klinger. Then you got Eli, who is still ahead of Mo after these pit stops. So Eli in the top 10, Higgsy in the pits. Then you got Sargent and Spin pretty close together. Cherry, you got Jack and Arukas. Actually, Arukas looking pretty decent here. And Kira all the way at the back. But remember, Arukas is the only one doing the mediums for the second stint. So let's join Pyro. Let's see what happens with Higgsy coming out of these pits and where he shuffles in. I'm expecting him to be around about where Tap is. Tap setting a 30.7. That is his fastest lap of the race. Higgsy on his way out of the pits now. There's Higgsy, and he might lose that position to Tap. Yeah, he definitely should. Wack's got himself a half-second penalty. Too many penalties for the guys, for the Citroens at the front here. Might be ruining their chances of getting a 1-2. And Higgsy actually covers off Tap into turn 3. So Higgsy in third, with the freshest tyres, able to try and chase down these Citroens. Also, Hulk comes out of the pits in 12th. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get a top result here. And that lap where he set at 1 minute 40.1 is really going to hinder him, because he could be about 8 seconds up the road at this point, which is going to be a roundabout where Captain Eli is, maybe with Klinger and Gunmad even. So let's see what happens. Tap's got ahead of Higgsy somewhere. Tap's going around Higgsy in turn 4 and actually going to get the move done. So that's a really good move there for Tap. Higgsy's tyres still not up to full temperature. Maybe that's had a bit of an impact. And that is sort of good news for Wack as well, although he's going to have to serve this half-second penalty. He's going to drag these two, who he was really close with. He did so good to build a gap over these two over the last few laps. He's going to lose a huge chunk of it now. Higgsy back trying to get ahead of Tap again. He's going to try and go around the outside here. Tap pushing him as much as he can. Gets the inside line, and Higgsy's going to try and get him into turn 1, but Tap going ultra defensive. Higgsy just going to try and pull him alongside here. And not able to do so with that Z4. Really late on the brakes for Higgsy. This is what Pyro did to Tap, but Tap should be able to get that position back again, because Higgsy having to brake a little bit too much. These two losing a lot of time. They should really work together to catch the cars in front, I reckon. Okay. Tap going defensive once again. And Higgsy gonna try and go around the outside. It has been done before. It is a difficult one, and it looks like he's done it. It's not completed yet though. Tap's gonna pull alongside once again. Now surely that is enough for Higgsy to get the move done. Higgsy's killed a lot of time there on these fresh tyres, and it has afforded the Citroens a little bit of breathing room, but there is still a long way to go. We've got another 6 laps left. Pyro's medium starting to wear, especially that rear left. 31.1 compared with 30.4. 30.8 for Higgsy despite that overtake. Scotty catching up to Tap now as well with a 30 flat. And Andy's got the fastest lap because he's done a 29.7 as well. It's a tough one. I think it's a 3-horse race now. I think Tap pitting on lap 16 has kind of put him out of contention of the win here. Now, what's going to happen when Wack catches up to Pyro? That's the question. Pyro, really, if we're going to see a Citroen win, it's going to be Wack, and Pyro's going to have to release him and then try and hold Higgsy up, surely. Although Pyro's still on for a pretty decent result as it stands. And, yeah, if it ends like this, Citroen are going to probably launch themselves back into the lead of the constructors, which you wouldn't have been saying at qualifying, because they both had a horrible qualifying session. But we've seen lots and lots of errors and incidents so far in this one, and these guys have managed to keep their noses largely clean, apart from getting half-second penalties. If we had strong penalties, these two would definitely not be in the top 2 right now. So 30.2 compared to a 30, so 0.8 of a second Wack was quicker on that lap. So really, Pyro wants to be letting Wack past into turn 3. They both get turn 1 horribly wrong. Half a second for both of them as well. The Citroen Clown Show, are we about to start seeing it? They are going side by side here. Pyro needs to let Wack through. They are fighting by the looks of it, losing even more time. This is just a gift for Higgsy at this point, but Pyro does let Wack go. He should have tucked him behind because they've lost probably another 3 or 4 tenths going side by side around turn 3 there. And Higgsy might even be able to get Pyro through this penalty zone. This is looking super good for Higgsy. He just set the fastest lap at 29.7 on that previous one. Yes, you should have screamed at Pyro to get out of the way, to be honest, Wack. And yeah, Higgsy's going purple again. Is Pyro even going to be able to defend this? He's not going defensive into this corner, which he should have done, but Higgsy gets past anyway, so it didn't really matter. So the Citroens helping each other out just didn't happen at all, and that is purely, despite the half-second penalty, because they both lost time against each other into turn 3. Otherwise, Pyro would have been able to hold Higgsy up here. Looking at the tyres as well, Higgsy's tyres are still super fresh. Even going round turn 1, well, actually, neither of these cars are good round turn 1, but Higgsy closing the gap massively here. So this is looking like, potentially, the start of a championship challenge for Higgsy here. If he could get the win and the fastest lap, he had a pretty decent sprint race as well. Especially with Eli down in 8th right now. Wack going defensive. And is he going to try this little switchback? He is probably going to be able to pull alongside. Wack's going to have to defend again into the next corner. Which he does pretty decently there, but he goes wide. Now is Higgsy going to be able to pull alongside? He isn't yet. It does seem like a matter of time, like a lion stalking his prey right now. Tap has been caught by Scotty a little bit further back as well. And Higgsy's going for it into the final corner. No. This pace difference is insane. Scotty's got past Tap though, let's see how that happened. So Tap's tyres are actually the same as Scotty's, so he's actually managing his tyres pretty well. A little bit wide there for Tap, and Scotty's just going to tuck along the inside here. And Tap gets a half-second penalty to add insult to injury. And that is P4, and Scotty has a chance of a podium here as well. So back to the front, Higgsy still stalking Jack. 31 was the last lap, not Jack, Wack. Surely down into turn 3, he's got to send it. Wack's going to probably go defensive here. They're lapping in the 31, so is Pyro, so is Scotty. Everyone's lapping in the 31, so they're not actually losing time to many people here. Wack is going defensive here. Higgsy's going to try and get along the inside here on the exit. Now, which car is better on the acceleration here? Pretty even. Wack going defensive as a result. Now, can he do it round the outside? If he can hold it, Wack nearly loses it. Bit of contact between the two of them. And this might be it for Higgsy now. He is enough alongside. And it was... Oh, he's in the gravel! Saves it. And he's wide again, though. This is gonna... Oh, he's got half second. This is a disaster. Pyro might actually get it back now. So from the lead to disaster for Wack here. Higgsy's already got about a 1.5 seconds lead on Wack. A little bit further back, Gunmad serving a penalty, gets overtaken by Klinger. Captain Eli's trying to get that position as well off of Gunmad, and he's going to go into the final corner side by side, actually fully ahead. So Eli covering that one off. Mo in 9th, Spin in 10th, Sarge 11th. Jack still in 14th here. And Arukas down in 16th. He lost another 10 seconds on lap 23. So, 2 laps to go. Higgsy's got a huge lead. Andy's got the fastest lap. Wack's got a half-second penalty. He's just ahead of Pyro, who's just ahead of Scotty. Scotty might even get up into P2 before the end of this one. New Porsche confirms. Okay. Who's rejoining ALR with an alt just to race the Porsche for the rest of the season then? Actually, you wouldn't get a race. Hopefully this Porsche actually has a good start off the line, eh? Some licenses must have expired which has allowed GT to get these cars on the cheap. That's what must have happened. That's why we're starting to see some new cars trickle through. So is Wack going to keep P2 here? It looks like Pyro's going for it with 1 lap to go. Don't blame him. Wack really needed to back out of that. He didn't have to, but the risk of contact is kind of big. Now Scotty's going to try and get Wack on this last one. Bizarrely, we've got 4 MR cars in the top 4 around a track that is not suited to them. So the FR drivers are having an absolute nightmare in this feature race, clearly, because that should not be happening, in my opinion. So good little exit from turn 1 for the Citroens, keeps them just ahead. A little bump around the corner there. Everyone's a little bit dodgy on the acceleration. Yeah, Higgsy's completely ran away with this one. So the overcuts really worked a treat for Higgsy. And this just goes to show, if you could do it, the advantage that you get on a lot of the tracks with the fresher tyres, especially on 5x tyre wear, can just really be worth it. But he's definitely been helped with a crazy number of penalties, especially from the Citroen drivers, who look like they're not going to change positions here for the rest of it. So let's join Higgsy in his Audi for the last couple of races, couple of corners. A hugely well-deserved victory for Higgs. He's going to really kickstart his season now. And this is going to be his first win of the season. He's going to go up into 3rd in the championship as a result. Pyro somehow manages to hold on to 2nd. Really good result for him. We've got Wack, we've got Scotty, we've got Tap in 5th. We've got Klinger in 6th with a good recovery. Eli in 7th with a recovery. Gunmad is 8th. We've got Mo Gaffer in 9th. Another race where he's made progress. Then we've got Spin in 10th. Hulks is out of fuel. He's going to get overtaken by Sarge, but he's going to stay ahead of Cherry. So Hulks 11th, Cherry 12th. No, Sarge with a penalty is actually 13th. Jack in 14th. Then we've got Kira coming around to take 15th. And Arukas with a really bizarre round for him by his standards. Down in 60th. Just way too many issues. Spins and losing too much time and choosing the wrong strategy there in the Porsche. Down in 16th. So, the standings. We have Eli is still in 1st. But his lead has been cut to 6 points, with Scotty in 2nd with a 5th and a 4th. Actually closed the gap. Higgsy is in 3rd. He's 14 behind Eli. Jack, with his only scoring 2 points in that feature race, drops to 22 points behind Captain Eli. And then in 5th place is actually Pyro, who's 25 points behind. Then there's a big gap behind them. So it looks like a 5-horse race at this stage with 3 rounds gone. Citroen have actually moved back to the top of the constructors with that double podium in the feature. They are 3 points ahead of the Z4 team, and they are 6 points ahead of the Ferrari team. So there we have it. Next time we are at Laggy Maggie, so it'll be another interesting one. I think that's going to favour the MR cars a little bit more. Let's see if anyone tries the medium soft, because I think it can be done if you are a good tyre whisperer. So you heard that one here first. Let's see. Yeah, thanks for watching anyway.